What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to A Couple of Nurses. This is Deepak Darrow. In today's video, we're going to talk about the top 5 apps that you need as a CRNA student. So the apps that I'm going to talk about today are the apps that we're pretty much using throughout the didactic portion of the program. Now that I'm in the clinical portion of our program, I don't use them as much, but I do reference back to them sometimes whenever I have a question about a particular topic. Before we dive into today's video, be sure to like, share, subscribe. Remember to comment nurses rock down in the comment box if you found any value in today's content. And you guys be sure to check out acouplernurses.com if you want to find any merch or decals. All right, let's dive right in. So the #1 app that I recommend all SRNAs to have is Notion. Notion is my #1 favorite app, and I've used it more often than any of the other apps that I'm going to talk about today. So I just wanted to give you guys an example of what my Notion looks like today. So as you can see here on the left, I have all of these tabs. These are all of the courses that I've taken. Also did some organizing here where I have some of my completed courses. And pretty much how you use Notion is, let's go to Principles of Anesthesia. So you'll go to your Notion and you'll create like a page, right? So I'll say page. And then how I use it is you create this little toggle and you put a question. So, what's my name? And then you put Cordero, right? So how that works is you see the page I just created, and then you can go in here, and these pretty much work like note cards, right? So for example, you get in here, and I create all of these questions based off of notes, off of the book, etc., etc. So this is why I use Notion. You can pull these up anywhere. You create your questions, you create your notes based as questions, and then you pretty much just run through them all, right? So, and this transfers to your iPad, this transfers to your phone, so it's pretty mobile. You put the computers here, you put the input in here on your computer, and then you can pretty much still pull up the notes from your iPad or your phone, which is pretty nice. So that's Notion, go get it. The next app that a lot of people love, and I also had on my iPad, is Notability. So what I do like about Notability is that you're able to upload all of your PowerPoints or your notes or PDFs onto your Notability app. And then if you have a pen, which if you have an iPad, you should definitely get a pen. You can pretty much go on there and write notes, highlight, draw pictures, and do all other kinds of things with Notability. I know I have classmates that solely use Notability the whole time throughout the program and have done well. I don't use it as often as other people, but I do think it has great functionality in being able to store PDFs, books, notes, and a lot of other things. The next app that you need to have is Grammarly. This app is one of my favorite, and I've had it since I was, had my BSN or was studying for my BSN. So Grammarly pretty much helps you improve your grammar and improve your writing. So I think it's very beneficial, especially when you start getting into a lot of these writing courses, your DMP project courses, your research courses. It really helps to tighten up your writing to where you don't have to do as much manual editing on your own. If you have the means to, I definitely recommend upgrading to Grammarly Plus. With the Plus program, you get much more robust suggestions to improve your writing. And then it's also helpful to go ahead and not only have Grammarly on your web browser, but if you download the app to your computer, then you can actually have it put into your Microsoft Word, which makes it really, really nice and smooth. Another app that Monica actually recommended to me is PERRLA. PERRLA is amazing when it comes to creating your references, your APA references. When you're in grad school, everything needs to be done the right way, and PERRLA really helps with taking out a lot of the mental work when it comes to making your insight references and also making your reference list at the end of your papers. Then the last app I'm going to share with you guys is something that I didn't use at all during didactic, but now that I'm in clinicals, I use it almost every day, and that's Vargo Anesthesia. Vargo Anesthesia app is a little pricey. It's not a cheap thing to buy, which is why I waited to get it. And I definitely recommend that you don't start using Vargo until you actually get into your clinical rotations, because you need to learn the information at a base level before you use a supplemental app such as Vargo. So Vargo Anesthesia pretty much gives you the meat and potatoes of a lot of different types of case types. It also helps with your understanding of like pediatric populations. It has some calculators in there. So Vargo is the GOAT, one of my favorite apps. Again, don't start using it until you get into your clinical rotations. And then we do an honorable mention, right? So those are the top 5 apps. I also downloaded Anki, and I know a lot of people that have Anki. It's a very old looking app, but it pretty much works like a note card. But what makes Anki so unique and helpful is that it has a feature to where if you're continuing to miss questions, then it will like flag those questions and it'll circle that question back around through your stack of cards. Again, I never got into it. I think I used Anki for maybe a week. But you know, in CRNA school, it's find what works for you and make tweaks whenever you need help. And I didn't need any supplemental help based on the other apps that I was using and the grades I was getting from those. So I hope you guys found some value in today's video. Again, be sure to like, share, let me know any questions you may have about CRNA school down in the bottom, and we'll see you next time. Peace.